Yo, 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 what up with y'all, man? It's Two Trail TV, and I'm back. And we got Sunday Night Sit Down, man, with Corey White, man. Corey White. Now, Corey White, man, semi-pro basketball player, actor, stunt man, uh, and he got some upcoming announcements that he about to drop right here today with us, man. Yes, sir. But y'all know me, man. I always got to start it off every time, every week, man. I started off the same way. I want to tell y'all I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man, because without y'all, it is no me. You hear me? For real. I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the shares. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the donations. I appreciate everything, man. Y'all keep turning me up. Sunday, about to invite about 50 of y'all, man. Tune in, man, if y'all get the invitation, man. When you get in here, man, hit the like button, man. That's all I ask y'all. Hit the like, man. Hit the like. That joint adding Corey right now, man. There it
Yo,
go, there it go. What's up
what's
with you,
going
bruh?
on? What's going on?
You know what it is. Another Sunday, man. Another
For
Sunday.
sure, man. That Sunday sit down. That's what we here for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. I appreciate your time, man. I know you busy. I know you got shit going on.
Yeah, man. Nah, it's no thing, man. For sure. Anytime, I love what you're doing. I like your platform. I love your platform. Love what you're doing, dog. So,
Appreciate it, man. I want to give us a voice. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
There ain't nobody in our city, ain't nobody in our area doing
Nah,
that,
for
man.
sure. For sure, man. Like, I think, that just make it easier when we all can come together and be, what I mean, support each other with their movements, everything run together, man. So I definitely appreciate the exposure you sharing your platform with me. And whatever I can do to help you, man, is no thing. You know what I mean? So for sure.
No question, bro. No question.
Yeah, man.
That's the only way we gonna get ahead, man, is if we use each other, man.
Say it one more time.
I said the only way we can get ahead is if we
Yeah,
use
nah,
each other.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, you already know. Without it even being said, it's a little. Sometimes it could be a little bit more challenging, but when we work together, man, everything could be accomplished, dog, for real. So just head down, keep grinding. You know what I mean? That's all it is.
So we gonna start off, man, by giving you a congratulations, man. You joined the Wayne Agency.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I signed
Congratulations.
with the Wayne Agency back in February. So You know, they've been sending me some work. They've been great representation, trying to keep this thing going for me. So I
Man,
appreciate that, man.
absolutely, man. So go ahead and tell the people where you from.
Originally, man, I'm from Caroline County, Virginia. Uh, I'm sure some people know where Caroline County is. Small town, small county. I pretty much been there my whole life. I had moved to Georgia when I was younger, Douglas, Georgia. Spent a little time out in LA, but you know, Caroline County, that's home.
So you said Sparta?
Nah, not Sparta side. I'm on Ladysmith side. So
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, for sure.
So man, tell them what it's like growing up in Caroline.
Man, growing up in Caroline, man, I was big into sports, so most of my childhood was always basketball. And that's the country. They always sleep on us country boys, but you know what I mean? It was definitely dope, man. Growing up with my friends, we got backyard. We had the backyard battles, you know what I mean, every day. So that's pretty much what it was. Real quiet. So my family, a lot of my family's from there too. So I got to grow up real close with my family. My cousins, got a lot of cousins. Um, so it was dope growing up in Carolina for real. I love it. Out of all the places I've been, I feel like now that I'm older, I appreciate that lifestyle a little bit more. The peace and the quiet. Not too far from the city, Richmond, Fredericksburg, or even DC, whatever. And then I can come and duck back out, away from everything. So I always appreciated Carolina.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I lived out there in Bowling
Okay,
Green,
okay,
and
yeah,
that
yeah.
was the best place I ever lived in my life.
Man, Bowling Green, pretty cool, man. A small city, little small town, old school, small town. Yeah, I used to play ball out there a lot at the rec center. That was where I was at most of the time growing up. So definitely familiar with it.
So man, tell them when you started hooping.
When I started hooping, me and my best friend Trey Wilson, rest in peace, Trayvon Wilson from Carolina. We grew up together, man. We were just always, we really didn't get into Parks and Rec until like later on, but we was always playing each other one on one every day, football and basketball. My uncles would be out there, messing with us, get us started. So really, a lot of it was backyard growing up, and then I moved to Campbell's Creek. Shout out to the Creek. So that's a neighborhood. So we had a lot of hoopers that we were all every day. As soon as we get off the bus, we was at my boy John Mosby's backyard. He had a full court, and we was going at it. And then so that was like the childhood. Then I started playing travel ball. Started playing with the Running Rebels out of Fredericksburg. Shout out Rick Wright. Um, so I was playing AAU there, and that was dope. That kind of pretty much carried me. I didn't play no high school basketball. Didn't have my head on straight. Then the one year I did, got cut from the team at Massaphonics. So that kind of looked like always kept a little chip over my shoulder. Uh, so then I finished school, ended up going to try out for a junior college. My homeboy went to, walked on, was like one of the last people recruited, walked on, got on the roster, was starting within like 4 games. And just kind of trended up after that for real. Finished playing JUCO, played 2 years of JUCO. Then I came back home. I started playing for the Fredericksburg Grizzlies. That's like when they first launched the Grizzlies. So I played with the Grizzlies for like 5 years. Ended up playing with Richmond Elite a little bit, and in that process, that's when I really started to get into professional film. So I started dialing back a little bit from basketball from there.
Do,
Yeah.
do you think you still got it?
Yeah, I definitely still got it. I just can't do, ain't no more dunking or none of that. So, well, but I shoot lights out now, but I definitely still got it, what I mean? Yeah, I'm all right, man. I'm just a different version. I'm a vet now, so I
Yeah.
gotta remember that when I go out there.
You had to upgrade the game and hit the Jordan turnarounds.
Yeah. It's back to the basket game now. You know what I mean? I ain't really attacking the basket downhill or nothing crazy like that. Spotting up, shooting. but it's fun. I'm always play defense though. That's what I take pride in. That's just the competitive nature in me.
Absolutely. So, man, tell them how you got into acting, and also tell them about your mentor, Billy Washington.
Okay. Man, so how I started off with the church. My grandmother, she was writing plays for the church, like Black History plays, like anytime there was something going on at the church. When I was a kid, I always I was real tight with my grandma. So that's how I kind of got my first interest in it. I started doing that acting at the church plays, helping her write. And then, kind of like as time went on, I wasn't really like pursuing it or anything like that. While I was playing with the Fredericksburg Grizzlies, I had hired a basketball agent, and she was trying to get me overseas opportunities for basketball and stuff like that, a bigger check. And then just one day, she sent me a casting call for a movie, and it was crazy because most of the times when she would post the jobs, she would put it in a group chat for all the players that she represented. There was probably like 30 of us. But this one day, she sent me the casting call by myself, like just to me, and I was like, "Damn, I never even told her that, that was part of my past. That was something I was interested in." And I ended up asking her. I said, like, what made you send that to me, And she was just like, "I just think this is perfect for you." So so it was a Tuesday. I never forget. And when I first got it, it was like, you got to be in Atlanta by Thursday to do it. And I was like, that's tough. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's last minute. It's very last minute. Kind of, convinced my mom to run me down there. We got there right on time. She just got in too. She's sending all them hearts. So we made the trip down there. I never forget. I get there, and I'm thinking like it's a small movie. Honestly, I'm not even knowing what to expect. I get there, it ended up being the movie Uncle Drew, with Kyrie Irving and the Shaq. They got everybody in that show. So I go in there, I try out. It was probably like 500 people in there. They kept 35. I was one of the 35. While I was trying out, I was like, I was seeing the basketball coordinator, I was like, all right, I gotta holler at him and let him know that, like, yeah, I'm a basketball player today, but like, I'm trying to get into like acting is my thing. That's what I want to do. So I hollered at him. I, made sure I got my spot first. Then hollered at him. His name Mike Sheldon. Shout out to Mike Sheldon. So I ended up doing some throwback scenes. It was supposed to be for Pee Wee Kirkland, for Uncle Drew, but they ended up scrapping it. I was out in Atlanta for like 3 weeks. Doing filming, and then they end up scrapping the whole scene. So, which is crazy, It was a real my first lesson, in that industry. So they scrapped that, and then Mike Sheldon had hit me up to actually do another project. It was a guy named Brian Banks. He was like a football star, and they was doing a film on him. He invited me to come to Memphis and help basically like intern under his company. So they do all the sports choreography for these shows and these movies. So he acted intern, which was a crazy time. I had to get back to work. I already missed work for some time, pursuing this. They granted me that. So it was, kind of a tough time for me to do it. So I'm thinking like, I done blew my shot with them, whatever. I didn't really leave a good impression. Fast forward 2 years later, he hit me up on Instagram and say, "Hey Corey, like you from Virginia? We have a show coming to Richmond. It's called Swagger. Loosely based on Kevin Durant. Kind of give me the ins and outs." And he was like, we shooting with a cameraman on skates. So basketball has really never been filmed like this before. So before we put this around the actors to see if it's because they knew it was high risk. It was a dangerous thing. So they just wanted me to come in and experiment and, with the cameraman and to see if it could work, if it could make sense for them to film it that way. So I started doing that. I was just, like I said, I wasn't even on the real set. I was just doing like little private rehearsals with them. And I kept going. Mike kept calling me. He was feeding me to work. I kept going, showing up consistent. Then one day, the main actor, Isaiah Hill, he broke his wrist. He was 16 at the time. He played AAU also. He broke his wrist, so he wasn't gonna be able to do the physical portion of the show.
Right.
So Mike hit me up, text me, and said, "Hey Corey, I just submitted your name for stunts. Let's go. This is He knew I didn't know too much, terminology in the game at that time. So he was like, this is definitely a good promotion for your career. So I did my first stunt with them. It was a fight scene. Then COVID hit the next weekend. So shut it down. Yeah. So after COVID, we took a little hiatus. We come back in like October. I'm thinking like, I'm coming back in interning for his company now, but I'm still like, all right, well, I got the taste in the stunts. That's what I really wanted to do. They had hired another stunt coordinator. That's William Washington. By this time now he's just starting to work there. I met William. One of the producers actually took me over. I was just working the background stuff with the kids. Producer come over, grab me, take me to Mr. Washington. Said, this is our stunt guy. So I was like, okay. At that point, I'm like, oh, he just confirmed it for me while he's selling it to him. I meet Billy, great guy, cool guy, older guy, 60 years old. He's an OG. He reminded me of my uncles, you know what I mean? Like, black guy, you know what I mean? So that, we just kind of just clicked, like. And he was new to Virginia. He'd never been to Virginia before. And I'm from here. So I was like, the hometown kid at this point. So I do about like six stunts for Swagger during that first season, 10 episodes. Me and Billy, we become like cool. He loved the work that I'm doing, that he's hiring me for. So as soon as Swagger wraps, that's when I get the call. He wants me to come out to LA and do Real Husbands of Hollywood and be the stuntman for JB Smooth. So I go out there, I do 3 episodes of work for Real Husbands of Hollywood. And, like I said, it just kept going. Just, the work just kept pouring in. Did a DraftKings commercial for JB. I did a couple of things for JB. He kept me going, at that time after Swagger. Then I get back to Swagger season 2. We, I do more stunts. I booked a principal role, a speaking role. So that was pretty dope, man. Just been, it's really just been trending, each step. So
that's love. You get your foot in the door, do the hard work, and it's gonna show up.
Yeah, man. And it's like, with Billy, like, it was more so, at the same time too, even with Mike Sheldon, it's about who man. And like when you meet these people, like I said, if I would have never even spoke up and told Mike, like I'm a basketball player today, but I really want to get in this game, like this industry. And I don't think none of this would have even, materialized to what it is now. And then with Mr. Washington, he's a straight bona fide legend in the game, man. He co-wrote some of my favorite movies, Biker Boys, Players Club, 3 Strikes, and now today I was looking at the interview Damon Wayans did with Shannon Sharp. But I didn't even know he was the inspiration of where Major Payne came from.
Yeah. I just watched that the other day and I heard him say that.
Yeah, that's and that's crazy. And it's like, he was a real mentor to me, man. He passed away 2 years ago, but he gave me the game. Like he knew like I was from this small town. I ain't really know too much about the industry. He made sure I read over my contracts and I was getting paid the correct amounts and little things like that. Constantly gave me game. Just took my knowledge of the game just to a whole nother level. So rest in peace, Billy Washington, man. He's definitely a legend, definitely an OG.
Yeah, absolutely, man. R.I.P. and condolences to the family.
Sure, man. Appreciate that.
So, man, the stunt work, that's the most difficult job in the whole thing. Like I'm not gonna say it's easy to act, but it's harder to do those stunts.
Yeah.
How did you?
I honestly, I'll say it's just about mentality. It's about your mentality. So stunts just kind of was perfectly aligned for me because even with basketball, I was just always that player that did the dirty work, that's diving on the floor. That's like that was just me. That you know, it's not going to necessarily show up in the stat sheet, but it's got to be done. And that's like what stunts is. It's like you're not going to be that person, you know, that's seen on the camera, but this ain't getting done without you. You know, you got to take that fall. And I think fortunately enough, like with Swagger being my first real stunt job and my first stunt experience, it was a basketball show. So a lot of what I was doing was taking charges and stuff like that I'd done my whole life already playing basketball.
Yeah.
So that kind of, you know, just matched up. I've done some, you know, some driving things and stuff like I had to, you know, had to do like, you know, get a little crazy in traffic. But you know, it is fun. It's dangerous. It's very dangerous. I would say acting is probably harder though in front of that camera because it's a mental aspect. You know, like when I go out there in front of that camera with stunts, it's just a physical thing. I'm gonna just take this fall or, you know. But when you're in front of that camera, you gotta know your lines, your facial expressions. There's so much more you gotta portray, and you know, like your mental really gotta be locked in. You know, so I would say from my experience, and you know, it's two different levels. And I guess with me wanting to, when I was doing the stunts, I wanted to do more acting, but I was like, you know, I can't wait to see what that is like. And when I got it, and I started getting these opportunities and doing it now, and it's like, you know, it's a great respect that you gotta have going into it. Like you gotta have a clear mind. You know, I mean, that's just a real grind for real. And I don't think people really understand that part of film. You know?
Man, this is crazy. So, doing all these shows and working with all these people, man, you obviously build relationships. Like you said, you did multiple stunts for JB Smoove. How many other people do you feel like you close to that you could get down with like that?
Yeah, I got some pretty good mentors around me. I built a relationship with O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ice Cube's son, off of Swagger. He was our A-Rap, cast A. He was out, you know, #1 on our call sheet. So he was the biggest. Me and Shay, we kind of forged a good little bond. We cool, you know what I mean? It's not no everyday or nothing like that. But like as far as like mentors, people I know I could reach out to, Orlando Jones he came and worked on Swagger season 2 from Drumline. Orlando's good people. He reached out to me because he was real close with Billy and seeing the mentorship that I was, you know, already getting from him. So he kind of just like carried on, you know what I mean, for that for me. So he kind of, you know, he's somebody, he reaches out, you know, that being in communication with. I reach out when I got questions about certain little things, about where the market is hot at right now. You know, I go to him. Another person I say like is real cool, Tristan Mac Miles. You'll know him from The Wire, Michael from The Wire.
Okay.
Yeah, he good people, you know what I mean? Like, I can reach out to him, talk to him, you know, pick his brain about certain things. I got it's of course JB. You know, JB. I didn't even know that JB went to Norfolk State. So when we got to conversing the first time I worked with him, and I told him I'm from Virginia. You know, it was just like we had that little connection, that Virginia tie. You know what I mean? So he's always been supportive. Definitely probably him the most now, I could say, like, you know, because I've probably been around him the most. So he's good people, man. Tell me keep my motor up, keep your energy up, aim for the sky. I feel like that gym he gave me, I could get everybody. So yeah, he good people, man.
Definitely a blessing, man.
Yeah.
So far, what you feel like your favorite project is?
Oh, without a doubt, it's Swagger. Yeah, without a doubt, definitely Swagger, because not only was it like really my first opportunity with when COVID hit, I was you know, doing the background stuff with the company. Like basically, I was in charge of like getting the background boys, basketball players checked into set. You know, making sure they go to hair, makeup, all that crazy stuff, and then getting them to and from. These kids had to still get schooling in, and they just gave me the insight of the whole room. Which, you know, I needed to access even on days where I didn't have to do stunts or stuff like that. I still had work to do, still had to be there and learn a corner of the room. And I love that. Like that experience was invaluable, honestly. So definitely, I would say Swagger's number one. I love working with Broken Behaviors, the film that just came out. Everybody was so cool, like my whole castmates, the creator, the director, Carolyn Smiley, Carolyn Randall, my guy Tony James. They were great people to work with too. Even though it's different, size film, I mean, like different film, like different companies, they treated me with love, man, and we shot it, a lot of it in Fredericksburg, so what I mean, I was like kind of right at home with that, so that was definitely a good experience to work at home with your people. So, shout out
crucial,
to them, man. Broken Behaviors, man. Y'all go check that out now on Amazon Prime.
Absolutely. So you've been on BET, you done worked with feature films, you got Apple TV and Amazon Prime, man. What's next?
Man, hopefully, man, hey, I'm trying to get more lead roles, more like prominent speaking roles. With the stunts, I love stunts. I got a passion for it. That's mostly what I get, what kind of jobs I get. So that's good. But I'm really looking to get my face out there more, like take on more speaking, more extensive roles. And I think that's what I'm turning to. Like the job that I'm applying for, and I've been getting auditions for. Hopefully, that I land something, hear something back soon. But yeah, I'm just trying to keep building on that track. But whatever it comes, I'm writing projects. That's more so, honestly, my ultimate end goal is directing. I love all things behind the camera. I love the creating. I love the process. But like acting and stunts has gotten me in the door, so that's what I've been running with. But ultimately, end goal, I got a couple projects that I'm writing that I want to eventually get out. So whenever I get some time, what I mean, and get a little bit more knowledge of the game, and I'm gonna get those things out.
Okay, so go ahead and let them know a couple more of your long-term goals, bro.
You said my long-term goals? Yeah, man. Just I got some. I like to create. I like to write. That's my thing, and I got some ideas of some good films, and I feel like all of my films that I would create, that I write about, it makes you think. Like whenever you see it, wherever you see it, and when you read it, you're gonna think how these things in the body of your life. I also like to tell stories, like the stories of people that don't get to tell their stories, and people that got testimonies. I want to start getting them stories out more to the forefront, especially our people. So yeah, that's ultimate end goal. Hopefully, I'll be bringing a lot of things to the TV screen myself and what I create. But like I said, right now I'm just gonna keep running this lane with the acting and keep learning the role. Out of all of my directors I've ever worked with, like I'm real hands-on. Like I not only just a perfectionist in my own work, but I pay attention. If I'm not on that screen, I like to be over their shoulder to see what they see the first thing they're gonna say after they make a cut. Like I'm teaching myself through that experience. So yeah,
man. Honestly, for people that work with you, like you working for them, when you ask questions and stuff like that, it just shows your love for what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure. They know that you really into, you're serious about your work.
And they be more inclined to actually give you the information too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and I've worked with some great directors. With Swagger, Reggie Mike would always like to give him his flowers. He wrote Biker Boys, Notorious. Him and his wife wrote Love and Basketball.
Wow.
He got a lot of work out there. I can put us New York Undercover, I believe he did. So he's another OG, a legend in the game. So like having that experience of working up close with him, which is amazing, man. That's one of the best experiences. He's one of those guys that just like commands the room. Say a few words. With a few words, he commands the room. When he walked through, everybody's on their A game, you know what I mean? So, like just his presence, to see how diligent he is in his work, how focused he is, and he treats everybody from O'Shea, the top man, to the janitor or somebody that's just moving the table with all the same respect. And that was something that was like, eye popping. Like, it was like, damn. It was great to see that. That was key for the development in my career. I'm always take that up. So, man, big shout out to Reggie Whitewood. Sure.
So, Broken Behaviors, man, out now on Amazon Prime, man. Y'all make sure y'all check that out.
Yes, sir.
We got Slam on Apple TV and Real Husbands of Hollywood, man, BET Plus.
Yes,
y'all
sir.
Make sure y'all check all that.
That's BET, Real Husbands on BET Plus and on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, Broken Behaviors right now, man. It's Prime Video. Y'all go watch that, run it up. It was mostly shot in Fredericksburg, and a lot of the DMV area, honestly. But you're gonna see some spots in there you may know. I don't want to give it all away, you know what I mean? But you might see a few spots that you might go to on a Friday or Saturday night, in there. So
I seen your stunt video, the video you got on your page from doing the stunts from that movie, and I seen a little area, and I was like, when I seen it, I was like, man, that looked like Fredericksburg, but then I was like, man, no way that could be Fredericksburg.
Yeah. There was we definitely got some spots in Fredericksburg in it. The movie's called Broken Behaviors. Broken Behaviors is on Amazon Prime. Yeah, I appreciate the support, man. But yeah, that joint was dope. I ain't gonna lie, like working on that set was dope. My partner, Detective Jackson, man, good people. That's how I probably know. We like bad boys. We the new bad boys on there. You know what I mean? He had good energy, man. It was his first time actually in the film, Marcus Brown. So I tried to give him as many gems as I had, but he made it fun for me though. Just being himself, man. Just enjoying it. And I think everybody that worked on that set, like everybody, like they brought their A game, man. A lot of it was a lot of their first time acting in front of the camera, and they brought everybody brought their A game. Yeah. I love Broken Behaviors, that cast, man. That was a wonderful time.
So go ahead, man. Let them know where to find you.
Yeah, man. On social media, Facebook, Corey White. On Instagram, I'm Silk the Great, SilkTheGreat. That's pretty much all I got right there. Like, I try to keep it limited on there. I really only try to post when I got some work coming and going. So, man, y'all follow me on there and whatever I got, whatever. I'm one of those people too. I had a lot of, people, the swagger was shot in Richmond. So people was reaching out to me, how can they get on, do background stuff. And if I have that opportunity to extend it to someone, I always, try to extend that friendship to people, because that's just I feel like everybody should experience it at least once, even if it's a hell of an experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. If I ever get the opportunities to where, when my movies come, and it's that time, I'm gonna need some people out there to come be ready to get in front of that camera, man.
Make sure you let me know, and we'll work it out. We'll figure it out together.
Nah, for sure. Always, man. I appreciate your time, man. For sure. I appreciate your platform. I love what you're doing, man. I follow you. You know what I mean? Like I've been, you was my newsman the other day when stuff got a little crazy in the burg. I was going straight to your joint, you know what I mean? So I definitely see what you're doing, dog, and it's not overlooked, man. You keep pushing, you keep going after the things that you do, man. It ain't never too late to start something, you know what I mean? And the only way that your goals can't come is if you stop with it. You feel what I'm saying? So keep going, keep grinding, dog. I'm in your corner 100%, dog.
I appreciate you, bro, man. I'm gonna be getting with you soon whenever you got some new work you got dropping, man, you want to come in on the show, just let me know, and you welcome anytime, bro.
Bro, dog. For sure. I appreciate that, homie. We definitely get up soon, man. One more time, Amazon Prime, Broken Behaviors right now. Y'all go watch that. Support Fredericksburg. Shout out Carolyn Smiley, Randall, Tony James. Follow them, Tony James, on Facebook, Godson Entertainment. And check out our film, man. So yeah, that's that.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt, man. God bless, bro.
Bless you. Thank y'all, man. 2 Trill TV, we signing off, man.